Welcome to Extremely Live. I am here today with a 10 years long friend, I think. I think we met in 2014, maybe earlier. Pretty wild.
Wow.
I'm here with viral sensation, Drew Freed. Wow. Welcome to the show, Drew.
What's up? Thanks for having me, bud.
Yeah, of course. I'm Micah Rock and Roll, by the way, to our listeners.
I am Micah Rock and Roll.
That's how you knew me. I came out of the womb with that name.
How'd you come up with that name?
I am a fan of Tony Millionaire, who's a cartoonist.
Oh, cool.
And when I made my comic, I decided I wanted to have a fun name like that. So I was like, Micah Rock and Roll. And there was...
it has a nice rock and roll to it.
Yeah, thanks. There was this experience I had where I used to walk around with a handmade shirt that just said rock and roll on it that I thought was real funny.
You made yourself? Or
Yeah, like white t-shirt with a Sharpie. And I ran into this girl and she's like, "Oh, I love that shirt. That's so great." And then I saw her like a month later, and she had made her own rock and roll shirt.
Yeah, dude.
And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I totally ripped you off." I'm like, "No, it's great. I don't own rock and roll." But ever since then, I've just associated myself with rock and roll.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you bump your arm or something?
What happened?
Hold your arm up again. Did you get what happened?
Oh,
there?
no, I just have bad skin. I just...
Sorry. Good thing
I'm a diseased human.
Is that Mpox or whatever?
Yeah. I'm patient zero. I'm the one who's bringing it over.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Fingers crossed. We have to deal with that.
If it can make it to New York, it can make it anywhere. You know?
Yeah, true. Man, where do we begin?
Where do we start?
I know. It's nuts. Well, I guess let's start with how we met in an improv class in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
We were two fresh-faced freaks from outside of town, trying to get started in comedy, and we both decided the best place to do that was UCB Theater.
Oh yeah.
And, we I guess we made some good impressions with people because we both got selected to do this cool kids class of.
Is that the first time we met? Was in Brandon Gardner's?
I think so, or maybe it was 201, and then we both happened to. Because I had Brandon Gardner for 201. Maybe we met in that, and then that's when we.
I remember that class. I remember that very first cool kids class.
Yeah.
Being really scared.
Yeah, me too. I was super nervous. That's back when I was like really fully invested.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I still am, dude. I got 501 on the calendar.
Do you?
No.
Oh.
No. I could do it.
I've come back around. There was like a year where I'm like, man, fuck all that stuff. But now I'm like, you know what? I learned a lot of good things there. It was useful.
Yeah.
Met a lot of good people like yourself. So I can't be too much of a hater, despite how it all kind of fell apart while we were there.
The relationships are definitely worth it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You meet so many good people.
Mm-hmm.
And so many pieces of shit. It's
tons of pieces of shit. It's good. It's good for you.
It is, yeah. It's
just a microcosm.
It's a microcosm, exactly,
mm-hmm.
of the real world. But yeah, we met doing kind of comedy, and we became friends. I thought you were hilarious. I remember thinking like, yeah, I gotta hang out with this guy. I don't want this guy to get away. And I was like, I would like rush up to you after class was over and walk to the train with you and chat you up. And
I remember looking over my shoulder at you and trying to walk faster. I'm just joking. Yeah, no, dude, I had the same. I was attracted to you too. I remember one of the first times we hung out, we huddled in that little like doorway of some bit closed business late at night to smoke weed.
Yep.
And we watched, I don't know, for some reason in my memory, this could be a false memory, but that's where you showed me the videos you had made back
it could be
in New York or whatever.
Yeah. Back in the day, I started making videos with a group, and pretty much because I wasn't getting anywhere at UCB, and I was like, well, I got to make my own thing then. I can't really rely on other people giving me breaks or whatever. Yeah. And luckily that all went places and got me stuff, which was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, those early days were fun, man. I was thinking, I have some notes here. One of them I wrote down is living in squalor, because both of us, when we first moved to New York City, were just like living in the most fucked up, cheap as we could possibly find.
The entire time I was there. Yeah. I lived in squalor up until 4 years ago. Complete squalor.
It's true.
Apartment with 4 alcoholics. You know.
Yeah, it's a train wreck.
Cockroaches and a sink that's never clean.
Yep.
A shower curtain that you have to move around like it's hot lava.
Yeah, covered in black mold, I assume.
Yeah, colonies of black mold. I'd get in there and smoke a cigarette out the freaking window.
God, I just remember just wistfully hanging out on rooftops in Brooklyn, smoking, drinking, talking about the future, talking about comedy. It was a rich time. Those are heady times.
Rooftops are great, man. Those are the best memories of New York, is standing on top of a roof, high on cocaine and Molly. I'm just joking. No, I'm not.
Don't do drugs, kids.
There's so much space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We spent, I lived in a closet.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first moved to New York, I lived in the true squalor was that first apartment I had on, what was that street?
Stockholm?
Or Stockholm in Bushwick?
Maybe. I'm trying to think.
And I had no windows. And
yeah.
If I sat in the middle of my room and I put my arms out like this, I could touch both walls.
Yep. I had to, in my first apartment in New York, I had to duck because it was, I was in a lofted apartment, and they built apartments within the loft apartment. And my roof was maybe 4 feet tall. So I couldn't stand up in my own bedroom.
Yeah. How depressing.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember I went to go buy, I was like, I gotta cheer myself up. I am so sad living in this little room. Because I think it was a normal bedroom turned into 4 bedrooms or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cardboard partitioners up to. And I was like, you know what I need? I need plants. And I went out and I was plant shopping and realized right before I bought a plant that it would die in my room. There's no plants need sun.
Yeah.
I was I probably need sunlight too. That's probably part of my problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I upgraded to that piece of shit apartment in Harlem. I thought it was the greatest place. I thought it was Buckingham fucking Palace.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right.
Big windows.
Yeah. I hung out there a handful of times with you.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Yeah, it was an interesting time, kind of getting your feet wet in comedy and living as cheaply as you possibly could so that you could have the fakest job possible so you could do comedy for free as long as possible. Yeah. It was an interesting time.
It was great. It hurt a lot when it was going on, but in hindsight, with a little sprinkle of nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't trade it for anything.
It's true. There were a lot of I probably have never laughed as much in my life as those times. of just being around people, making each other laugh, trying to make other people laugh. Just it was good. It was a good experience. Like I said, it's a lot of shitty parts of it, but it was definitely a fun time.
I definitely miss the community of all the things. That's the thing I miss the most. I mean,
totally. Yeah, I miss like having shows to like kind of commune around and meet up with people. Like that whole thing was super fun.
Yeah, I'm starting to find a little bit of it out here in LA. The thing it seems to be out here is clowning.
Yeah, why? What is going on?
I don't know, but it has the same vibe as that like improv UCB 14 in New York. Like, I don't know, it's probably been going on out here forever too. I'm just new to it, but
no, I've heard similar things in New York of like how that's now a scene.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a theater out here, the Elysian, that every time I go there, I see some clown show or something. It really feels like UCB Chelsea.
Yeah.
It has that same like magical vibe.
That's interesting. Like, is it intoxicating? Are you like, man, maybe should I get into clowning? Yeah. Oh no.
Well, I'm gonna do it, dude.
You'd be good as a clown for sure.
I would dig it for sure. Kind of thinking about putting together this Santa Claus show. My dream is to play Santa Claus.
Are you allowed to talk in this form of clowning, or is it no talk?
I think you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Okay.
There's no rules. There's guidelines, I think, from everything I've gathered so far. But my Santa he would talk. He'd at least say, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, for some reason in my mind, when people are talking about this clowning, I'm picturing borderline like mime stuff, like no talking.
There is a good amount of that.
Yeah.
But there's plenty that talk a lot too. So my idea for Santa Claus is to get on stage and have like a Roku and a TV all set up, and it's Santa Claus on his off time watching TV. So I'd have my back to the audience, and I would probably just like flip back and forth between Fox News and CNN. And just flip back and forth, and what Santa Claus thinks of each news network and what they're saying.
That's just fun.
Turn occasionally and make some comment about, fucking border, or whatever.
Politicized Santa Claus.
Well, yeah, but he's on both sides. He plays both sides.
I like it.
He loves everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Good people on both sides.
Both sides get lumps of coal.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
I'm sickle.
You're all getting coal this year.
Maybe I could walk around and ask everybody who they're voting for, and based on what they say, I give them a lump of coal or a candy cane.
There you go.
It's a lot of just crowd interaction. It's like, solo improv.
That's cool.
It's not really a bad name for it, because anybody doesn't know the scene, whatever images pop into their head when you say clowning, you can just tell they have no idea what you're talking. They're thinking about it and clowns coming out of a car.
Yeah. I just think of a bunch of fucking perverts. That's my mind.
Well, there is a lot of that. Yeah. A good deal of that too. That's part of it.
It's got to be. Have you, when was the last time you did a genuine show? I haven't done one in forever.
So,
well, I guess I do video shows, but
maybe like different. A month and a half or 2 months ago or something.
Nice.
Patrick Noth from...
Oh, yeah.
He asked me to open for Gadget Hour. Gadget Hour is like a famous New York...
Yeah, that's...
And they're still doing
crazy
shows, and
we did Gadget Hour together. Well, it was one of our first improv shows, I think.
We did?
Yeah.
With Gentle Touch?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Way back in the day. I don't think Noth was there that day, but...
Oh, my God, I think I remember.
Yeah.
In some weird upstairs theater.
It was very strange. Yeah.
And I came straight from bartending, I think.
I believe that's correct. It was a weird show. I remember the energy being weird, but we were pretty nervous because I think it was our first legit show as a improv team. If I recall.
I wasn't nervous. I was fucked up. I remember being really fucked up.
Yeah, that's another part of your story is you were a hard drinking fucker when I first met you.
Yeah.
You went to town.
Yeah.
And you were my first friend where I was like, what's my responsibility here to this guy? Because he's hurting himself for sure. And I think he sort of recognizes it, but I don't know if it's my place. Like in Star Trek, they have this thing called the Prime Directive where you're not allowed to like go down to a planet and be like, oh, here's how you make fire. And here's how you like, just, you got to let them take their own path. And I was like, do I need to sit this guy down and tell him he's like, needs to stop drinking? Or is that not my place as a friend? Or you had me going through a lot of emotional dilemmas for a minute there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry about that.
No.
I need to make amends to you.
No, fuck.
That's actually why I agreed to do this podcast.
Fuck that. No. That's not why I'm saying that. I'm just trying to paint the picture for the audience to be like, it felt scary sometimes.
Yeah, I like to push it. I definitely like to hurt myself. I made it out.
You did.
I'm 4 years sober.
Yeah.
August 18th, I was 4 years sober.
Damn, that's like 2 days ago. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. It was, I was glad when you did go sober, and I think it's been nothing but healthy for you. You seem to be thriving.
Thanks.
You
yeah, it did. It's working out for me. It's nice. Definitely exhausting.
Yeah.
Battling that beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 30 days sober at your wedding, actually.
Okay, yes. I think that's right. Yeah. Wild. Is it hard? Are you like constantly fighting desires, or what's that like?
No, not really. Getting sober was just kind of felt like a surrender.
Yeah.
Just like giving up, like taking all my weapons off of me, setting them on the table, turning in my badge, like a grizzled detective or something.
Right.
I don't know. It just felt like giving up.
Yeah.
Which was easy. Giving up's easy.
Totally.
I don't know why it was so hard before. Before it was just, I was constantly like, quit drinking, smoke twice as much weed, quit smoking weed, drink twice as much, if that was even possible. And then, I don't know. It's been pretty easy, to be honest with you.
That's good.
That help, and I have a community that helps. Replaced it all with good habits.
Yeah. And, Do you remember what was the trigger? What was if you don't mind talking about it, what was the thing that made you finally say, fuck it, I got to quit for real?
It's not like I didn't do like something big, like crash a car or something like that. Like some people have these crazy bottom stories. I did during COVID. COVID was interesting for me because I didn't drink anymore. I just drank a lot more by myself. So like I was still drinking the same amount that I always drink, but I was alone.
Yeah.
And and I was watching a lot of Ip Man.
Yeah. I remember you talking about Ip Man all the time.
I watched all the Ip Man movies on Netflix, and I was super into Ip Man. And I remember I got a beer out of the fridge, and this is like such a small thing, but I was staying at my sister's cottage alone in Michigan, and
yes,
I got a beer out of the fridge, and I wasn't like angry or anything. I was just shutting the fridge got the beer out, was drunk obviously, And then I did like a It Man punch to shut the refrigerator. He like It Man does this like dribble punch thing. Like he'll get somebody and like dribble their head on the ground with his fist. It's so sick. Highly recommend It Man. I should probably rewatch it sober. But I did that to the fridge to shut the fridge, pretending I was It Man.
Mm-hmm.
And a little while, I can't remember if it was later or the next day or something. I was just looking at the refrigerator and the sun was hitting it, and I could just see this little constellation of dimples in the stainless steel refrigerator. And dude, I felt so bad, like
right,
so guilty that these people are my people I love the most in the world have let me stay here. But it was all connected to this guilt of like drinking too much. I'm hiding beer cans and
right.
Anyway, I'm talking way too much about this, but that was like one of many moments where I was starting to hate myself.
Yeah.
And then I started going to meetings online actually, with my camera off, just drinking. I'd like get a 6-pack and just drink it during 1 hour-long meeting online of people struggling. And they'd be like, is Drew there? You want to turn your camera on and say hello? And I'd like, go hide in the bathroom.
Halfway through his 6-pack.
So I was dealing with that. And then there was like a Good Friday. I went to church with my mom and decided I wasn't drinking. I was just I was always quitting.
Yeah.
And so I decided to quit, but I was going to have a little bit of wine for this Zoom church service that I was going to with my mom. Yeah, a little red wine for Jesus or whatever. And I drank 2 bottles of wine that night.
Oh, man.
And then finally I quit, and I stopped drinking. I went 2 weeks without drinking, and but I was still smoking. And I went on a camping trip for my buddy's birthday, and I said I wasn't going to drink. And I was the whole time on the way to the camping trip, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tell my buddy whose birthday it is that I'm not drinking.
Right.
We're in the liquor store, and I'm still like, Dad, how am I going to tell him I'm not drinking? And then instead of telling him, I didn't have the guts to tell him. So I was just like, fuck it, you know what? I'm going to get a 6-pack of IPAs. I'll have 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow. And that I'll drink like a normal person. And I drank all 6 of those beers probably in like the first 2 hours that we were at the campsite. Ended up bumming whiskey off him. It's his birthday.
Oh my God.
His birthday. I'm drinking his whiskey. I end up spilling it all over my crotch, sleeping in my tent, just drenched in whiskey, reeking of whiskey. Waking up the next morning, just soaked in like my cock soaked in whiskey. And I'm like, why? I literally had whiskey dick. And I was like, why? I wasn't supposed to drink, and here I am, and that was it.
Yeah.
So when I came home from that camping trip, I was just like, "That's enough." I've tried so many times. It was just like I was just exhausted from quitting.
Right.
But I quit quitting. I quit. I just quit.
Yeah. You're sick of like disappointing yourself. No, it's interesting. It's good. Hello, I'm Micah, creator of Extremely Live. If you're enjoying what you're watching, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. Please, that would be amazing. Extremely Live is a podcast and a live stream that is value for value. If you're getting value out of what we're making, we ask that you send us some value in return by going to extremely.live/donate. We'll take anything. We appreciate everything. And with that, let's get back to the video. I have similar things where I feel like that, where I'm like, for me, it's like stuff like exercising. Like I'm always telling myself I'm going to exercise and then I don't. I just feel like such shit about myself. Like it's that thing of like, eventually the self-shame builds up to a point where you just have to fucking make a change, or you truly are a moron. Like you're just truly a piece of shit.
Yeah. That self-shame, I'm a piece of shit stuff. That's the real, that's underneath everything.
Yeah, of course.
That pride and that twisted pride where you think you're supposed to be better than whatever. The biggest thing I've learned about quitting drinking is if you in order to quit drinking, you have to shrink the ego.
Mm.
This it's an ego battle for sure.
Interesting.
All the twisted pride and resentments and all that shit is the real killer. That's why. Wow.
Gotcha.
But yeah, go easy on yourself. That's the key.
There you go. Good message. So let's talk a little about your first big gig that a lot of people I see notice in your TikTok videos. They're like, "Hey, aren't you the guy from my training video I had to watch at work?" And the answer is yes. You are the human error, a worldwide sensation.
Yeah. I'm the human error, the guy responsible for 95% of all security breaches. No big deal. That's one of the lines there. I wear a T-shirt that says "human error" and a bathrobe, and I'm basically like the mayhem guy, but for these cybersecurity training.
That's a good comparison. Yeah, you are. I just hear so many crazy stories from you being like, "Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas for a week and I have to wear a bathrobe everywhere I go."
Yeah. Those were the early days. The early days were really crazy because I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really knew what it was. They were just like, these corporate guys were like, "Hey, let's take this disheveled man, put him in the bathrobe and just throw him into this conference." Just me
struggling with alcoholism. He looks great for the part.
Yeah, that was I kept that close to the vest.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, those were the days, dude. Yeah, it's been a great gig. I mean, right before COVID, I did like a whole world tour with the character.
Yeah.
It allowed me to travel to all these places. I did a study abroad in college in London, but I hadn't been back to Europe since then. I didn't know if I'd ever go back to London.
Yeah.
And then this character, they sent him to all these conferences and hands-on meetings and customer visits, people that watch the videos, and I got to go back to London, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand.
It's wild.
Yeah, Dubai.
It was like night and day because you like a lot of us in New York, you're doing comedy. It's hard to make money. And you were both of us had some tight times there. And you were pretty much always working as a bartender, which probably did not help your situation at all.
No.
I would often meet up with you at a bar, and we would get into all kinds of illegal activities. And
New York, baby.
Once you got that gig, it was like, oh, this is like a real thing. Like this, it took off pretty quick, if I recall.
Yeah, it was nuts. It started as like a really low key, non-union kind of gig, and then I think I did the first videos one weekend for a couple $100, and then like months went by and they hit me up and were like, "Do you still have that robe? We're thinking about doing some more videos." And then anyway, long story short, that company that made those first few videos, they ended up selling to they got swallowed up by this bigger company and then that's when it just really steamrolled.
Went nuts. Are those original guys, were they still there for all of that?
Yeah. Okay. They stuck around for a while, and Jan, the guy that directs and writes them, is still there from those days. The guy who sold the company to Mimecast eventually he left. He's doing something else now, but he stuck around for a while, for a couple of years at least.
Yeah, it was like this. That's pretty wild. Yeah, it started out as kind of, I wouldn't say an experiment, but it felt like pretty low key. And then, it just kept snowballing. It felt like every month that you were being like, yeah, this is becoming more and more of a real thing. Until you didn't.
Yeah, then it replaced bartending there. After a while, I got to quit bartending, which was cool.
Yeah.
And I was doing something every week or a couple weeks there for a little while.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, super fun.
That's yeah, they're funny too. Like they're actually like pretty funny.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially for what they are. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of the competition, and it's not.
So a lot of those videos are awful.
They're not good. Yeah,
no.
It's kind of like a Bill Nye the Science Guy type of thing, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Back in the day, Bill Nye. I thought Bill Nye was great. It's because I watched him in school.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's still going strong. We're still doing. Now we do this like your UK version. So I shoot in London and I shoot in Boston once a year.
Crazy.
And I'm super grateful, super blessed.
Yeah.
It's a good gig.
Yeah, it is. Like it's crazy, man. Like I know like normal people who are working normal jobs, they think like if you appear on TV in any capacity, it means you're a millionaire. And it's just it's not true these days. Like I know so many people who are like, they book like a Geico commercial and like a fast food commercial the next year. And consistently they're just completely broke because it just doesn't pay like it used to. And to have a consistent acting gig of any kind is a pretty huge win.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like during COVID for sure, like I know a lot of people that were in shows and stuff that were filing for unemployment, couldn't afford their lifestyle all of a sudden, just like that.
Yeah.
And I'm at my sister's cottage holding it together by a thread. but they're working because cybersecurity attacks like went skyrocketed during
COVID. Yeah, it makes total sense.
They needed to make content. They needed to keep making content for people working from home. So that's what we did. We were doing like these Zoom videos where we'd put ourselves on tape and then they would edit us all the cast together into like a Zoom video.
That's funny.
But yeah, and I was doing shout out videos. I remember I had to do a video early COVID as myself.
Oh God.
Like, hi, I'm Drew Freed, the guy you know as Human Air. These aren't funny times. This is, we got to be more. It was very uncomfortable.
You were soothing the fears of America's public.
Yeah, I'd much rather be the dipshit, than myself. I don't even know who myself really is.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's cool, though. I'm glad that all worked out.
Yeah, it was good to be working. That's what I was, getting at. Is like the gig has just been such a blessing over and over. That time for sure, especially during those years.
Yeah, it was a scary time. I was unemployed at the time, and it was like it was not clear when I was going to get another gig. And living in New York City, that can't be your normal situation for very long before you completely run out of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money sucks, man.
Yeah, it does.
What happened to Andrew Yang, dude? Universal income.
Yeah, I've given up on politicians and politics in general. Nothing ever seems to quite materialize.
Are you voting for Kamala or?
I'm
It's something I like to ask people. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah. I keep saying I'm voting for Bitcoin. Keeping my fingers crossed.
Who's better for Bitcoin?
I mean, who knows? It's not clear. I mean, there's people making promises left and right, but
what's this Bitcoin's gonna? I've heard this from multiple people now that Bitcoin's gonna maybe skyrocket.
I mean, that's what everybody thinks. I mean, who knows? I've learned not to trust predictions. I've gotten very lucky. I've basically doubled what I've put in, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It keeps just becoming more legitimate over time. More businesses kind of take it seriously, and that's basically what's been happening. which is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna 10x, 100x, 1000x. Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
All X's though.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2x'd since I've taken it seriously, which is better than anything I've ever been involved with before. But
I was in a jam and I sold whatever little amount I had.
Yeah.
Fraction of a Bitcoin.
It's scary, man. Like, I'm currently looking for new work, and it's like, I do not want to sell that shit because it just doesn't. I don't know how crazy it's gonna go, but it definitely does not feel like it has peaked. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any backup coins or something that you?
No. I've gotten out all that shit. All of the other stuff. Here's what I like about Bitcoin. Nobody's in charge of it. It's literally like BitTorrent. Like, it's just like people run a little computer that has the log of all the Bitcoin transactions, and that's all that Bitcoin is. It's just like a ledger, and it's just very simple. There's nobody in charge of it. Nobody controls it. And like all the other altcoins, there's some like CEO scumbag who gave himself 1 million of the coins before opening it up to regular people to pump up his value of these fake coins he get. So it's like, I'm not participating in making some asshole rich. I'm not doing that. So I've just got out of all the other shit. Yeah, that's my spiel.
All right. I'll buy a Bitcoin.
Do what you want. Doesn't matter. But where were we? I don't know how we got on Bitcoin. Oh, because you asked me who I'm voting for.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
You fucker.
What a fucking sad state.
I know. Yeah. Let's not even think about it, please.
I'm sad they got rid of Biden, man. I was Biden, dude.
Come on.
That's my guy, dude.
Jeez. Does everything have to be this? Jesus.
I just think it's funny to bring up politics.
I know. It is. It is.
It's so dumb. All right. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So let's talk about you going from.
Biden did good in the first debate, though. I was shocked.
Yeah, he crushed.
They got rid of him after that. He was so soft spoken, and it was such a nice.
He beat Medicare. So
someone's got a pay-per-view. There's got to be a pay-per-view driving contest. Once, if especially if Trump loses. If Trump loses, if Kamala wins, then Trump and Biden need to have a driving contest on pay-per-view. You know how they did like a Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson in Vegas? Mm-hmm. They need to do that with those two guys. Golf.
You got to buy tickets in the Sphere to watch the golf.
I would pay a lot for pay-per-view of Trump versus Biden golf. It would last forever. It would be a long round.
Yeah. That's a 13-hour entertainment extravaganza.
Yeah. How much would you spend? How much would you pay?
Oh, I would watch the highlights on YouTube after the fact.
Oh, not me. I'd have to be involved.
Sports betting? Would you be betting?
I'd pay $400. $399.
$399.
I would.
Well, get that to your agent and have him get that to.
I'm always emailing my agent all these good ideas. Dude. Have you thought about Trump versus Biden golf? Same. Love Drew.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was the funniest part for me too, is them talking about golf, like fighting over who is better at golf. Oh, so psychotic.
It was the best.
God. So you go. You're viral in you're viral in your day job, and then you come up with this funny bit of making fun of a mailbox, and you go viral in your own right. Which,
I thought it went viral. Yeah, some people still say, like, I can't believe this hasn't gone really viral yet. I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Wait, I'm not enough.
2 million views isn't enough.
Yeah, it's a lot to me, man. I thought that was cool. Shit.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so difficult to build an audience. Like
Yeah.
to
I've
build a
never
group of people who
understood
just like, "Oh, I like what you're doing. I want to stick around and check out what you're doing." That's just I mean, that's amazing. You're
Yeah.
crushing it that hard. I mean,
I love it. I'm
it's
totally
what everyone's
dedicated
trying
to
to
it.
do.
I love how dumb the idea is, and I love that there's an audience because it would be weird to take this idea as far as I've taken it, and as far as I'm planning on taking it without an audience. So it's nice to have the audience for that, and it's just yeah, it's cool to have an audience. It's what we've always wanted. Even when we were
Yep.
doing improv or whatever, opening for Gadget Hour, it was cool because there was a packed house. You know,
Exactly.
feel like I got a packed house.
That's great.
Just makes everything feel easier,
Yeah.
and it's allowing me to do what I was just getting to, which is like take it really far. I want to take it. I said I was going to roast 1,000 mailboxes. That's my goal. I haven't counted. I'm going to do a little update video here soon. And yeah, I got some big ideas for this
Nice.
tiny idea.
That's great.
Yeah.
You have a history of rollerblading, which you incorporated into the first one. You didn't rollerblade, did you?
No.
Okay,
No.
so that's a thing you incorporated.
The first ones a couple of the first ones I was on a jog because it started with me jogging.
That's right. That's right.
You know, I'd run by a mailbox and I have mental illness. So I was like, look at that fucking guy.
I mean, do you have mental illness or does your neighborhood have mental illness? Because I've never seen so many fucking stupid ass mailboxes in my entire life.
Though, I've traveled around. I mean, Europe was kind of hard because I was just there and I made I just forced the bit onto these cities. Like I have a bunch of mailboxes I roasted in Venice that I need to cut together. I mean, just stupid, but it's a little harder there because they're all kind of the same. They're all these like slots.
Right.
But everywhere I've gone in the United States has dumbass mailboxes and unique mailboxes and piece of shit mailboxes.
Right.
And it's just once you start seeing them, you can't stop seeing them.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
You just used to drive by and you probably still you're in New York, so
there's some, but yeah.
If you're in the suburbs, you'll see, if you're looking for it, you'll find plenty of them.
Yeah, totally.
The bit is endless. There's endless mailboxes.
That's so
and they all do kind of a personality. I don't know what it is about.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Shit.
Yeah, that's good though, man. Like, it's cool that you have ideas to keep blowing it out as in our improv training. They would say, make the first scene in an office. The second scene's on like a cruise ship, and then the last scene is you're in space. Like you just keep getting bigger and crazier and crazier. I'm glad you're living up to that. That's good.
Yeah, maybe there is something to that. Now I got the rollerblades.
Yeah.
I don't know what's next. I'll keep expanding.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I brought up the rollerblades. So yeah, you have a history of being genuinely into rollerblades and rollerblading. You were enthusiastic back when I first met you. And I just want the viewers to know that there is a video, an absolutely butthole-sealing, terrifying video of fucking Drew Freed rollerblading on the edge of a skyscraper in New York City. It is the scariest. How many floors up?
I think 20.
20 floors up. There's Drew Freed is rollerblading around for a comedy video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just
it was for a trailer for a movie that I still am going to make. It's my
your
my
opus.
It's called Shoot the Gap, and
okay.
it's about a rollerblader whose brother gets murdered, and then he avenges his death by killing a bunch of people. Anyone remotely involved in the murder, he kills with his rollerblades. And I made a trailer for it, and we were just like, what can take this trailer over the top, you know?
Oh my God.
We need people to see this. So we gotta show that we're capable of high action. I had already done a video called Aggressive Standing, which you can find on YouTube.
Yes.
Young, hairless Drew.
Same deal. You're like aggressively standing on the edge of a building. Truly terrifying.
The aggressive standing was a guy who just stood in dangerous places. Which
right.
People actually kind of do that now. But
yeah, they do.
Yeah, the end of that video climaxes with the character standing on this edge of this 20-story building, which is where, you know, my friend Nate lived. And he shot everything. And stood
this
up on
fucker encouraged you to risk your life for a YouTube video?
Yeah, I mean, I know how to stand. I'm not gonna fall. You know, I've stood a lot. I never am standing in my living room and fall over. You know, it's not gonna happen. So I stood up there for that. So then when we were doing the trailer for Shoot the Gap, I was like, well, you know, we could go back. I could do the rollerblades on the.
Oh my God.
I think I had a GoPro on or something and looked down. It's like 1 second of video.
Yeah.
Not worth it at all. Not worth it at all.
Absolutely crazy. I'm excited for Shoot the Gap. I read one of your drafts. I don't know if it's the latest one.
Yeah, it was like the second. It was the first screenplay I ever finished.
Yeah.
Like early sobriety, finally sat down and finished the idea. Not perfectly, but finished it.
I read the whole thing. I remember being super fun. It reminds me of, you know, 90s comedies, just, you know, the Saturday Night Live style, like super over the top, ridiculous comedies back in the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you keep playing your cards right. You'll have a built-in audience for this movie.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some proof of concept stuff. I'm always like, where I've been working on it for fucking 10 years.
Yeah,
bit by bit. But now I actually have a script, and I don't think the script will ever be done. I just got at some point, I got to just start shooting it. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's the elevator pitch is, you know, Napoleon Dynamite meets Kill Bill on rollerblades.
That's great. On rollerblades.
A lot of violence.
Here's my pitch. I just watched Conan, the Barbarian movie for the first time. And dude, there is such a difference between practical blood effects and digital blood effects. It's so much more visceral with the practical. Like,
I'm all practical.
Yeah.
Shoot the Gap is always like, that's a practical effect.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you got some guy getting his neck slit, like instead of CGI blood, if you fucking get somebody who knows how to do all the blood effects, it'll just like knock it out of the bag. Huh?
Blood. Someone will be like stomping on a bag and blood will be pumping through a tube.
Yes, please, for me.
I don't care if you can see the fucking tube.
Exactly.
You know, I think that adds like an element of charm to it. I really do want it to be kind of almost have like a little home movie vibe to it.
Yeah, I was saying I'm rewatching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and right now I'm like, man, I'd love somebody to make a sci-fi show with just like very obviously crappy props and stuff. Like I don't give a shit. Like if the story's engaging and the characters are cool, it'll be you forgive everything.
For sure. I feel like there'll be a bit of a push towards that now too, with all the AI shit.
Yeah.
Eventually everything's going to look the fucking same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It already does.
It does. And all digital, fake.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a big push back towards theater. I mean, theater's still huge, but
yeah,
I could see theater getting really big. You see like Bill Burr and are doing like a Broadway play.
What it's oh shit, Glengarry getting wrong.
Yeah, Glengarry Glen Ross.
I'm so down to see that. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, we should do that. We should come to New York and
You
do
should.
that.
That'd be a really fun
You need
thing
to
to
come
do
to
together.
LA too.
I know. I'm such a fucker. I got to get out there. I've never. I got to just pull the trigger. I don't know why I don't. I'm like scared of LA or something.
Sell a Bitcoin, dude. Come on out. Fucking, yeah.
No, I think I'm scared. I'll like it, and then I'll be like, "Fuck! Do I have to move across the country? Like that's gonna be a nightmare." But you've
Always
already
a
done
place
it.
you either choose to like or not like, and then it's really easy to go with whatever you decide.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
true.
decide you hate it, there's plenty to fucking hate.
Yeah, totally.
If you decide you like it, there's plenty to fucking like about it. So,
I mean, just nice weather in general. I'm down for. I've lived in New York State my entire life. I'm definitely over the winter. I do love the fall. Fall's incredible.
fall's great. There should be
The
a place-
temperature right now is just incredible.
Yeah.
We that hurricane weather kind of blew through and cooled things down like 15 degrees. It's just perfect right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely tempted by nice weather. Sunshine does, as we were saying earlier, getting sunlight is fucking good for you.
Yeah, I guess this is all a result of living in that tiny little fucking apartment. Now I'm surrounded by plants and sunlight.
It's good.
Yeah.
You're living the good life, man.
Yeah, it's all right, dude.
I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you because I think we both saw each other at very vulnerable low points of our lives.
Yeah.
And to see you have success and get to do things that seem cool and get to make stuff that you think is funny and that have an audience for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty rare and it's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I hope the audience sticks with me for whatever I do next or whatever. But
yeah, I'll say this. Let me say this for your audience. I agree. The mailbox shit's funny, but stick with this guy because he's one of the true hilarious people in this world. He'd be perfectly at home on the stage of Saturday Night Live. He can sell a movie. He could be the star of any movie. He's got a million hilarious ideas. So don't tune out. Don't get bored. Don't fucking do the usual fair weather fan bullshit.
Yeah.
Stick around. This guy's got genius in him.
Thanks, bud. I'm gonna test your endurance with the mailbox thing. I'm just gonna say it right now. I said I was going for 1,000. I'm going for 1,000.
That's good. It's good to have a goal. It's good to have a goal.
Yeah. We're gonna get really weird with it. It's just gonna get weirder and weirder, and then there'll be other things. Maybe I'll start sprinkling other stuff in there that's not mailbox related. But I like the apology video I did to Canada.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I'll take little detours adjacent to the mailbox, but yeah, I want to do. I mean, honestly, I'd love to do like a full-on stand-up special that's just all to a room full of mailboxes.
That's funny. Yeah. That's really funny.
Something like that. But yeah, I'm willing to take it very far.
Yeah, he's a creative guy, folks. He's got a lot to give.
Thanks, dude. You too. Check out fucking Micah's comic, Orange Flavor.
Oh shit! Yeah, if you go to orangeflavor.fun, they got a great comic book for you there.
Very good. I'm one of the best artists I've ever seen.
Oh my god! You're too much. Oh, you're too much.
You remember we did an improv set? You remember when we did Wildebeest with Nathan Yaffe? Was that the name of it?
Yes, it was the three of us.
3 white male improv team, triceratops of comedy, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And, did Nathan couldn't make it or something, or was he on the back wall? I can't remember.
Something. I think maybe he didn't. Yeah, he didn't show, so it turned into just me and you.
And Bardia was there.
It was Bardia's show. Bardia Salimi, also a very funny guy.
I'll just never forget. It was the most cathartic improv scene I've ever done. Me and you, alone on stage, doing two-prov, and it was we were at a playground.
Yep.
Like a kid's playground, your kid's playground, I think.
Yep.
And you struck oil building the playground. And we were fighting over oil, and we were just noses were a centimeter apart, and we were just screaming. And I remember spit coming out of your mouth. You were drenching me in your own saliva.
I am guilty of that.
Screaming at me about your oil. That was one of the funniest moments of my life.
That was a good show. I remember people being into it too.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever got out of it well, but that moment.
You almost never do in improv.
Especially with two people.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Do? No one's there to run across the stage.
Yeah, there was some good bits in that set, as I recall. Loud one.
Yeah, we just screamed at each other a lot, which was great.
Did.
You don't do a lot of that.
I miss it, man. Screaming is so fun.
Yeah.
And if you have like an emotion behind it, like just something like give it some life and some juice, it's hilarious.
We get Shoot the Gap going. We get Shoot the Gap into production. There's definitely a role for you in there.
Oh man.
Definitely involves screaming.
Yeah. Let me
screaming at each other.
Let me fly, baby.
Let me
let me know what's going on. Maybe I'll sell some Bitcoin, be a producer. I can make it reality.
Yeah, here we go. That's a good way to make some money, because this movie's definitely going to make money.
I have faith.
Great for theaters.
I think the world is ready for funny, independent comedy, silly comedy. Like we need that shit. Hour and a half, zippy. None of this 3-hour bullshit.
80 minutes.
80 minutes would be great.
I mean, with fucking Netflix and all this shit, you don't need to have. I don't know why. Don't. What is the reason that movies are the length they are? It was the reels, right?
I have no idea. I think people are bad at writing. I think people don't read anymore, and so they are now bad at writing. I honestly believe that's true.
Yeah. Movies. I mean, some movies deserve to be long, but
there's some.
There's definitely like what about like some 2-reelers? What was it like? I think like silent films back in the day, a 2-reeler was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
How about some like fucking 2-reeler 45-minute movies on Netflix or something?
Dude,
one-offs.
Yeah, why not? Experiment.
High action. No.
Hell yeah. That's before we go, you were obsessed with Buster Keaton, right?
Yeah, I fucking love Buster.
Yeah, and that kind of feels like Shoot the Gap to me, where he's doing these stunts, these really complicated setups and shit.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that, because Buster Keaton, I was introduced to Buster Keaton by Anthony Sneed.
Legendary guy. I've interviewed him as well, if you want to go through the archives.
He'll probably be involved in Shoot the Gap at some level, upper echelon. But I was working on his film, Art Thieves.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
When
I helped on that as well.
And that was just hanging out on set was when I first came up with Shoot the Gap. And then, because I was watching him do his thing, and I was like, man, I want to do what he's doing. What would I do if I was making my own movie? And I'd be like, well, it'd be rollerblades, and it'd be faces in.
That's a given.
That's easy. Now I just got to think of a story. Yeah, he also introduced me to Buster Keaton at the same
that's
time.
Cool.
He's like he's a good person to introduce you to something.
He's good at making connections, like connecting you with people or things you should check out. He is good at that.
If he's passionate about something, he can really it's contagious.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I think Sherlock Jr., man. Sherlock Jr. is I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Buster Keaton broke his neck making that movie.
Damn.
So that's probably why I was rollerblading on top of a building, because I was like, well, if Buster Keaton's fucking breaking his neck.
It's fair. It's maybe it looks scary because I don't recognize genius. Maybe rollerblading on a rooftop. It's just madness and genius rolled into one.
Actually, I read a book about Buster Keaton last year called Cameraman, I think, a biography.
Interesting.
Very good. And there's one other thing I wanted to say about Buster. Oh, I would like to do maybe in LA sometime a screening. You'd be good because you do your it's not Red Hot anymore. What is it?
Club Video.
Club Video. I'd like to do something like that where we show Buster Keaton, old Buster Keaton shorts, and maybe Sherlock Jr., but have like modern music.
DJ. That's cool.
Some named DJ.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, doing the music. Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of. DJ Khaled. That's who I'd like to have. If he's listening, Mr. Khaled, if you like Buster Keaton, I think that would be a cool
Major Key. Buster Keaton.
I'm all about sharing Buster Keaton.
Yeah.
That was great.
Funny guy. For sure. Well, this was fun, man. I feel like we covered some good ground.
Yeah, all right.
If you're listening to this and you'd like to see more, go to extremely.live. There's links to the YouTube. This will be up as a podcast and a YouTube in a couple days.
It's extremely.live.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great website.
URL. Yeah. Bring websites back, folks. Make your own websites.
Yeah, get your Pizza Ship merch at pizzaship.shop.
There we go. Yeah, you got anything else to plug? Your click clack.
Click clack, baby.
What's your TikTok handle?
Drew Freed. It's just DROOFREED.
Awesome.
Same with Instagram. So
yeah, check out Freed's videos. They're funny. This was fun, man. Thank you for hitting me up. It's great catching up with you. Proud of you. Love you.
Thanks, dude. You too. I love you.
And let's meet up again soon. I'll come to LA finally. Quit being a jerk.
And then if we shoot in Boston, December, January, I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe I'll try to get to New York. I miss New York. It'd be good to come down and see you.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be around.
All right, cool.
All right. Peace.
Peace.